I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland of The Majority Report take a look at a clip from when Mel Gibson went on Joe Rogan recently. And in this clip, he's talking about sort of secret medical cures for cancer. And it really, I throw the word crazy around, but it really comes off as like literally crazy. So I want to check this out with you. I want to lend you my thoughts as we go, and then I want to know what you think in the comments. Let's take a look.
Joe Rogan's little show he's got there on Spotify, major platform. Maybe he got like $250 million for that. This actor, Mel Gibson, who seemed to have had an emotional breakdown, I don't know, maybe it was a decade ago now.
I remember this vividly. He left a voicemail for his ex, and one of the quotes was that, "I hope you get R-word by a pack of N-words. It will be your fault."
Well, I mean, that, there's a lot of different ways to interpret it, that I'm sure, that voicemail. Also, wasn't he stopped by a cop?
Sure. I mean, let's not rush to interpretation of a message like that.
And
yes.
and basically just went on both a racist and anti-Semitic rant.
Definitely anti-Semitic too, as well.
And now he's got another story that he wants to tell about 3 friends that he has that have been miraculously cured by you know what, and from you know what.
I'll tell you a good story.
Okay.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them at stage 4.
That would be the place where you would want him to end that story. That's it.
Yep.
I got 3 friends still.
3
Still friends with me.
That's very exciting for him.
2 of them are on the payroll. Right.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin,
Fenbendazole.
Yeah. I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
There's studies on that now where people have proven that they've
drinking methylene blue and stuff like that.
Yeah, methylene blue, which was a fabric dye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a textile dye. And now they find it has profound effects on your mitochondria.
Yep.
Yeah.
This stuff works, man.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff that does work, which is very strange because, again, it's profit. When you hear about things that are demonized and that turn out to be effective, you always wonder, well, what is going on here? How is our medical institutions, how have they failed us so that things that do cure you are not promoted because they're not profitable? That they can't control it. They don't have a patent on it.
I'm sorry, can you pause it? Why has the medical... So all of the other drugs that they're talking about, ivermectin, created by Big Pharma, hydroxychloroquine, created by Big Pharma. Earlier, like in this conversation, they were talking about monoclonal antibodies, and Rogan was saying, oh, they don't make that available for everybody. Like, why not? Well, you know who's also like working in that field is the pharmaceutical industry. It's the reason that it's not working for people is because it's for profit. It's not because of specific drugs that you've decided are based on pseudoscience are harming people. The reason that our medical system isn't working for people is overall that it is for profit. That is the problem. And these charlatans and this, I don't know, this lunatic Mel Gibson over there who looks like a caricature of everybody's racist uncle. And he seems very energized.
He does. He comes off as really nuts. And look, I enjoy Mel Gibson's performances on screen as an actor. I think it's hard to argue that he isn't a very talented director. But when you watch him talk like this, it's like, what's happening?
I mean, they are exploiting people's deep pain that they've experienced with the American healthcare system. Two very rich guys who can take different treatments a la carte and experiment with stuff with their doctors and do these homeopathic treatments in addition to any additional care that they may need, because they literally have millions of dollars to do so, selling snake oil to an audience that is like the rest of us, the 99% of people in this country who have a horrible experience with the for-profit healthcare system. But it's not individual treatments within the for-profit healthcare system that we need to be targeting via the Joe Rogan experience. It's about the for-profit healthcare system.
The idea that they would ever suggest undermining the profit motive in any industry is absurd. I'm not a doctor. It's quite possible that maybe, well, quite possible is a little strong. Maybe you should go to Mel Gibson for all of your medical treatments. And there's no doctors out there that would possibly be would use this stuff. Only rogue doctors. In fact, in the thread of that, I saw one of the doctors, this guy Makis, I think, who said that he's the one who prescribed this stuff to, or not prescribed it, because you don't need a prescription from this. You can you get it at the what do you call it? The tractor store. Or other places that serve veterinary, or I should say livestock. But he oversaw how much he was this person was taking, I guess, and that was a treatment. This is a doctor who was, I think, had a lot of problems with medical associations for almost a decade now. From what I can see, up in Canada. But the idea that they're on this platform, which is also profit driven, like the exact sort of impetus for why they're claiming nobody knows that ivermectin and this other drug they're talking about cures cancer.
Stage 4 cancer.
Stage 4 cancer. No more specifics. You don't need any more specifics about the cancer than that. It's just the worst cancer and a bunch of other things going on.
And all three of his only 3 friends I
wonder if some of those other things were parasites.
Had stage 4 cancer.
Well, I mean, look, maybe.
And they all took ivermectin, and they all survived. It just seems a little convenient in terms of a story. First of all, we all know that Mel doesn't have more than 2 friends, okay? So that already was difficult to sit with.
The interesting thing is, and somebody brings up this point, Hogtown, the guy on chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and ivermectin says, I found the miracle cure, right? Like, I mean, you might want to know what other things that they're taking, and what other therapies they're going through. And if you take little enough ivermectin, it's not going to hurt you. If you take little enough of it, but the idea that this is a secret cure, and the reason why we don't know about it is because everyone in the industry, all of these doctors, are completely invested in making sure that nobody gets that, as if oncologists wouldn't make a ton of money just sort of overseeing that in some fashion, is absurd. If you're really concerned about medicines that aren't getting to the public, you should look into the for-profit nature of the entire industry, because there is a ton of research that is not pursued because it's not profitable. But the idea that there's this sort of like huge grand conspiracy to deny people the reality of ivermectin. Incidentally, another big ivermectin paper on its efficacy during COVID has just been retracted by one of the medical journals that published it. I think just literally the other day. But the idea that this is a secret knowledge, these guys are on a platform making hundreds of millions of dollars by putting out these lies about like sort of secret facts, secret knowledge that you can only get here. Nobody else is going to talk about it.
You feel disempowered over your health care? Come to us. Consume our podcast that will tell you how empowered you can be by purchasing something different than what your doctor is telling you. If this is all about profit, like the fact that these drugs are being hidden from people, why are drug prices in the United States 278% higher than in 33 other countries per report earlier last year in the Association of Healthcare Journalists?
Is in Europe, is that what they're treating people with? Ivermectin and
must be, but when you look at the drugs,
is that what we're doing in Europe?
Apparently, but not really, because when you look drug by drug, I'll take COVID out of it. Drugs that people need, that I would hope that Rogan and I don't really care what Mel Gibson thinks, that Rogan and others would say, like, okay, inhalers or other insulin, other medicines that are widely needed. It's much cheaper just when you go over to Canada or when you go over to Europe. If this is a international conspiracy by pharmaceutical companies, why are they just targeting us here in the United States? I don't know, something to ponder. Or could it be that we have enabled for-profit healthcare to gouge folks for worse outcomes? And you have these freaks misleading people into thinking that it's just the problems of, like, I don't know, the system hiding these things.
Like ivermectin became such a sort of like, they're so weird.
I know
the way that they glom on to like these random things. Like what did happen to hydrochloroquine? Was that too hard for people to pronounce, and so they decided that's not the miracle drug?
I have wondered that myself. Like, is it just random? Do you just pick some random thing to be the snake oil, or does somebody suggest it, right? Does a quack doctor with some profit motive and ivermectin come forward with it? Or, or is there a payoff? Like, there's got to be some reason. I guess dumb random is as good as anything else, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was some financial string in there somewhere, because otherwise it just seems absurd. It's a dewormer.
I'm not up on my crazy, so I can't tell you.
I thought that was maybe what Gibson was referring to also, if he just didn't know how to pronounce it when he said like hydrochloride or something.
I mean, it's hydroxychloroquine, and to be fair to him, Sam didn't get it either, so.
What's that? What is
It's hydroxychloroquine.
Oh, I can't pronounce it.
Yep, healthcare is definitely broken and people are upset about it, and conspiracy theories are definitely... They've always been sticky, but they are certainly having their moment now. Mel Gibson, I guess he's back. He's working again. It really, that particular thing raises the question. You see him talk like this, and it just radiates crazy, like one of those guys that you see on the bus that's wigging out, but you can't deny his talent, right? As an actor, as a director, so I mean, I guess, I don't know. Up is down, and then Rogan, that's a whole conversation in and of itself, but let me know what you think in the comments.